buy and sell from them. And so through that, but also there was like Facebook groups of like Animoca shareholders, because once it got delisted, we wanted to like all talk about how we're all poor now. And so there was Facebook groups and like Reddit groups and stuff like that, and like subreddits and stuff like that. So I tried to just talk to everyone I could, and I could sense a lot of panic, but I was kind of, during this whole time, I wasn't panicking. I was getting even more conviction that NFTs were probably going to be a thing, and gaming's probably the first avenue to sort of get some mainstream adoption. I didn't know we were going to go through a boom so early, but so I ended up getting matched with 7 shareholders to buy 1 million shares. So I'm more than doubling my previous shareholding. I did sell quite a bit of Bitcoin to sort of to fund this, which I worked out the return. This was a better return in that time frame. But I ended up buying 1 million shares from 7 different shareholders. One of the shareholders I don't want to name, but was like this big hotshot director of like $1 billion a company that's listed on the ASX, and I ended up buying the shares at a 60% discount to the last traded price. So it last traded at like 18 cents. I negotiated to buy their shares at 7 cents.
Nice.
And then, a few months goes by, NFTs got really, really hot. And I remember in March, I bought these shares for 7 cents, and I had a Hong Kong fund, reach out and say, hey, we want to buy all your shares for $1 million, at 60 cents or something. And I was like, that was a really hard thing. I called my dad. I was like, what? Like, I should maybe not take this. And he was like, are you crazy? But I ended up not taking it just because they were kind of aggressive. They're like, we'll buy everything you've got. And I was like, okay, well, if you guys are playing that game, then probably something's around the corner. And then, not even a month after, Animoca raised at like $1.10 per share. And, my stake is worth, in the low few millions.
And the rest for the moment is history to be made still, because we are fans, and we think that this is not investment advice, but we think that Animoca has a bright future, as do you. So what's next, Deshaun? What are you going to do with this money, and what are you? I mean, you're just getting started. You're just an adult. You're a young adult now. You have your whole life behind you. What do you want to do?
Yeah, so look, I'm a huge believer in Animoca. I still think that they're following the trajectory of Dapper Labs. Dapper Labs recently raised like a monster round. They raised at like a $200 billion valuation, and then a month later raised at like a $7 billion valuation. So I know the space was hot and it's kind of cooling off, and the cycles happen, but I think in the long-term trend, I think $1 billion for Animoca is probably at the early stages. And so with the investment, I plan to hold on and sort of have a longer-term view of it. But in terms of what's next, I want to try and keep finding these opportunities. It's very hard to do, obviously, and this was I was very lucky to be exposed to that. But I think I'm going to continue looking for these asymmetric upside type bets, and try to go all in. Keep doing that, because if I lose everything at the end of the day, I'll just restart. I'm kind of young, and I don't really have a lot of risk. I don't have kids and stuff like that. So that's my plan. Keep going on with that degenerate mentality.
That's phenomenal. And you have like a backstory even behind that. Like your parents got out. It looks like they got out of a bad situation in Bangladesh, and then moved to South Africa, and then moved to Australia. And so they've had a pretty interesting life, it sounds like, at least from the story over here. And
definitely. So my parents were born in Bangladesh. Grew up in not the best conditions over there. And I like to say, my parents kind of won the lottery twice, because they got out of Bangladesh and moved to South Africa. And in South Africa, especially during the 90s, and it wasn't the greatest. We lived in Pietermaritzburg, and that's where I was born. So there's a lot of violence, and so they got out of there and came to Australia. So to get out of Bangladesh and to get out of South Africa, to come to Australia was phenomenal. So yeah, and then I sort of grew up. I was very lucky. I was like a kid, like a baby. I came to Australia when I was 4, so all the sort of bad stuff I don't really remember. I just I remember Australia, the beaches, and the nice weather, and yeah, I was extremely lucky and grateful. I grew up relatively normal in Australia, so yeah, hopefully I don't blow all the money and I help my parents out.
You won't. You're smart. You're like, I was a baby. So I'm like, you're a baby still, but you're a very smart, rich baby now.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
You're not going to blow the money. I think you're going to be wise with it. You have, I think, a natural sense of financial world that they don't teach in school, right? You didn't learn this in school. You learned this yourself by going and doing your research.
Yeah, definitely. I probably, I don't want to make big assumptions, but I probably would be more ahead if I didn't go to uni as much, or maybe dropped out earlier or something. It was taking up quite a bit of my time during, especially my last year, and I don't think I attended maybe like 2 classes in like 2 years. I never went to university. I never really learned anything there. So yeah, I also don't like being one of those people saying, haha, I made this money and I didn't need uni. You shouldn't do uni too, or you shouldn't like pursue higher education. But yeah, I think for me personally, yeah, I didn't really learn much.
I didn't either, even years ago. And I graduated college in 1986, and I just learned to party. That was it, because I went for a stupid liberal arts degree. Which sorry to you liberal arts majors out there, but my feeling is this: that unless you're going to college to be a professional, that is, a lawyer, doctor, an engineer, right? Something that's going to require that degree to get a job. There's not a lot of point in going to an undergrad university for the first 2 years. My recommendation, this is educational advice, even though I'm not an educational advisor, is the first 2 years, go to a community college, save money. Right, it's ridiculous how much these universities cost these days, and especially since they've become indoctrination centers. Now I'm soapboxing here. And then, if after 2 years you've got a direction for a professional degree, go to a university and pay your way to get the damn degree. Otherwise, just life will teach you, and just go do what you want to do, especially if you have entrepreneur. Don't you think, Trav?
Well, I mean, think about this. Think of all the places that you can go to get education now. Udemy, edX, you can go to Coursera, you can go to Masterclass. There's all these different online places. There's just so many. Like this, you can sit in on Stanford classes and MIT classes for absolutely free, and you don't get the degree from them. But I mean,
how about University of Phoenix, right? Yeah. Online.
Yeah, but that costs you money. Those other ones are very minimal. Like, you want to learn some great skills, man, Udemy. I'm on Udemy all the time learning great stuff, just because it's great courses, smart people. I need to learn how to do this Photoshop or After Effects better. I'll just go on Udemy. I'm not going to go to college for it. A lot of the stuff that I know, even the stuff that I went to college for, a lot of that shit's obsolete, completely obsolete, except for the network and the cloudy memories of party times.
Yeah, I think 90% of everything I've learned in the past couple of years has been off YouTube. I'll just be going on YouTube and I'll just type in exactly what I want to learn. So if you're curious, you'll just try and fill that appetite. And I think YouTube, Udemy. I learned programming on Treehouse or something, which is a coding school. Yeah. Everything I've learned was just online. I was kind of born on the internet, so I completely agree with you guys.
They don't like when you go to YouTube to learn. They want you to get your news from the mainstream media, because they've got a narrative that they want you to believe, and you're not falling in line, Sean. You're thinking for yourself, and that's really dangerous in this world, because you're going to succeed in spite of the messaging that they're putting out there. So congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll try and keep doing that. Funny enough, a lot of the YouTube videos I watch to learn, it's other, if I'm 12, it's another 12-year-old, with a squeaky voice saying, hey, this is how you programmed using it. It's we're all helping each other out. So yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. But yeah,
beautiful. So we share your love of Animoca. We always like to say that whatever Animoca touches now turns to gold. And so we've been working with a lot of different projects, seeing what they do, keeping an eye on them. So great job finding Animoca much sooner than we did.
Thank you.
Catch you later. Bye. Bye. Bye.
That these guys are, and myself being a gamer, I remember watching the rise of Blizz 30 years, and this just, there's a pattern that you start to see here, and these guys are following this pattern that I've seen before. So that's why we're paying attention, and Ishan, that's why we've been glad to have you on the show. Thanks for coming on today. If somebody wants to get a hold of you, what's the best way on social to reach you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at Ishanhaq, ISHANHAQ. But other than that, yeah, if you want to hit me up on there. Thank you so much for having me, guys, and share my little shareholder story. But yeah, go Animoca. Yeah, this is not a paid ad, but kind of is. I've got a message.
Go, Animoca! Yay, Animoca!
This kid is just 21. You know, he's Aussie, and now he's sitting on millions, mate, in Animoca brands, and his parents are like, maybe he's not, total wacko.
Right. We need you to go to school, and we need you to do all of this, and he's like, no, I need to do this, and he's done pretty well for himself, I would say. Now, here are some things you guys can say. Guess what? You can go on iTunes, and you can leave us a nice little review. If you enjoy the content that we create, we don't charge you any money for the content. All we want to know is if you're enjoying it, if you've been listening, you're tuning in. So leave us subscribe to the show and leave us a review. And if it's a funny review, we're going to read the review, like this review right here. Wait, there was no funny reviews this week, so we're not going to read one.
Are you sure? Maybe we just... Exactly where is the bottom for the Bitcoin price? How low can it go? Anonymous is targeting Elon Musk after his alleged manipulation of Bitcoin, and Vitalik is surprised at how long Ethereum 2.0 is taking. We are as well. The El Salvadorian president has submitted a bill to recognize Bitcoin as legal tender, and guess what? It passed. The U.S. Department of Justice has retrieved over 2.1 million in Bitcoin paid as ransom by Colonial Pipeline. And President Trump has pissed a lot of people off by saying Bitcoin seems like a scam. As for us, well, it's always sunny in the Republic of Bad Cryptopia. Crypto goes up, crypto goes down, but crypto is here to stay. Kind of like us. In fact, we're never going away. We shall podcast from the great beyond if needed, and we will haunt you forever. Need a cough drop? Unless, that is, you leave us a 5-star review after this bad news, episode number 522 of the Bad Crypto Podcast.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Who's that?
And welcome to the Bad Crypto Podcast, the show for the crypto curious and the crypto serious, and the show most likely to have a fart joke in it, which I think is something in and of itself.
We got that one right out of the way. So luckily this episode will have no corn references at all, because we're not that corny anymore.
I think you just did. This is our weekly news show. That's Travis Wright. I'm Joel Comm. Thanks for listening, and thanks for making us a top 100 business podcast, because we're all about that business, yo. The business of the cryptos.
And as we mentioned in a previous episode, we are well on our way to over 100 million downloads. We are nearing it. It's really far away, but we are on our way towards it.
We're getting closer, and I'll tell you, after last week's episode with Dr. Ayush Gaur from India, we have more fans in India than ever before. So we would very much like to say welcome to one of our new friends in India. We are so glad you are listening to the show, by golly.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you very much. And we are glad you have tuned in to the Not So Bad podcast. We are not as bad as we used to be. We are getting better because we are growing our audience in India. We have been needing and waiting on you for the Bad Crypto podcast to get even better.
We just smell that.
More
That's the most
better.
part. I'll tell you what's not bad is Animoca. These guys just came out with another press release announcement today. I actually don't have the info on that right in front of me, but they're partnering or developing another multiplayer game. It's like every week it's something, and they are revolutionizing the gaming industry. F1 Delta Time, Quid, Sandbox, Crazy Defense Heroes, others in the works. Check them out, AnimocaBrands.com. And on Sunday, which is our next episode, number 523, we had the pleasure of interviewing Robbie Young, the CEO of Animoca, and we've got some great content coming from him, some amazing vision from Animoca, and we've also got an interview with a young man who became a multimillionaire by investing in Animoca during their very lean period. So you're going to really enjoy the show on Sunday. You might not enjoy today's, but you're definitely going to enjoy Sundays.
Yeah, so, I don't know if you can tell people that. You got to reserve judgment until you do your own listening and then let us know if you enjoyed it, because you can subscribe and leave a review.
And they're not going to know if they enjoyed it unless they listen. So we have news, and this is where we're going to drop the music that takes us to the news. Drop it, producer Aaron. Time-stamping this episode for the 9th of June in the year of 202 to the 1. It is 1:04 p.m. EDT. And the crypto market caps are looking green today as we are back to $1.675 trillion overall market. Bitcoin up 13% in the last 24 hours, $36,624. Ethereum, $26.17. Tether, $1.01. Binance, $370. Cardano, $1.63. Dogecoin, 35 cents. XRP, 90 cents. The USD coin, $1.01 also. So the dollar, the stable coins are actually worth more than the real dollar right now. Polkadot, $22.82, and coming in at number 10 this week is the Uniswap, $24.88. So things are looking great. When I opened up the CoinGecko to look at this, Travis, I figured Bitcoin was somewhere around 31 or so, because that's what it was last night when I looked. So it's up. This is the craziness of the crypto markets.
Yeah, I mean, it is. I was expecting around 33. That's what I checked. It was earlier this morning. But think about this: the global crypto market cap is what, 1.65 trillion right now, 1.67 trillion. It's up about 12% over the last 24 hours. Which, if the stock market increased that much in one day, people would be flipping their shit. But that's what happens in the crypto market, right? We see this all the time. Like, Bitcoin going up 14% in one day. That's like nothing. It's like, basically, it's gone up over the course of the last week, 0.1%, which, I mean, you think about it, like, oh my God, crypto's going down, crypto going up, crypto going down, is what it is. And if we look over the course of the last 7 days, who are the big winners overall? Theta Fuel, T-Fuel up 61%. Hopefully you guys got yourself some fuel when fuel was super cheap. Theta and fuel combined, they're I guess fuel's like the gas of it. AMP, the AMP token, up 48%. Solana, a lot of people love Solana. SOL got a lot of Sol, up 38% this past week to almost $43. Kusama, which I'm a big fan of Kusama as well. KSM, that's up 27%. Theta's up 25%. The Curve token is up 22%. Arweave up. Algorand up.
Hey?
Filecoin up.
Oh, well done.
BTD up 10%. So, not a horrible week overall. Some of them took a big dump, but here we are back again. And back above where we were last week. So I remember looking at the thing last week. It was like, I remember seeing it like 1.5, maybe 1.4 trillion or so, and it's popped back up. So
There's definitely some losers for the last 7 days, but nothing more than down 20%, which again in the crypto world is not much to write home about. So the price, according to this article on Cointelegraph yesterday, was nearing $30,000, and there's some people at Whale Map, I guess that's an analyst firm, that says Bitcoin could go below $20,000, that they see 19,000 as the support floor, that would be the absolute bottom, which makes a lot of sense. I personally don't think we're going to see that. And I personally don't think we're done with this bull run. I'm sticking with what I've been saying ever since we came off that high of about 65,000, that it just seems too soon. This feels like a major shakeout. I don't think the whales are moving their crypto all that much. I think there was the one that, and I can't remember the guy's name, that sold a bunch. And
it was Jimmy.
Jimmy did it. Damn it, Jimmy. Yeah, moved the price too much. But I can't see us. If we did go down, I do tend to agree that 19,000 would have to be the bottom. I mean, how do you mine it at that point and for it to be cost effective? What that would do is that would get regular people spinning up their computers again, because a lot of the big miners would shut back on the amount that they're doing because it's not profitable at that moment.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's one of those things that's not profitable in that moment, like as right now, but you can still go and mine Bitcoin. It's an investment. Why not? Why would you shut down? If you have a bunch of mining rigs, why shut them down? Keep it rolling. Keep getting that Bitcoin. Why they trying
that happen?
They just immediately. They don't normally hodl their Bitcoin that they mine. They normally just peel it off so they can buy more mining equipment.
Right. Remember last time we saw the bear market, we covered multiple stories about mining rigs. They're turning them off, they're selling them, and some of them were closing down. There was a huge flip.
Yeah. Well, this time right now, it says here in this article as well that a lot of the bulls are lining up and protecting that 30,000 price line. So there's some data from Cointelegraph, Market Pro, and TradingView that is showing there that there are a lot of people who are putting up big walls at those prices. And so 32,000, 30,000. We don't want to see that dip continue to go down. And luckily, right now, we're at 36,600, up 14% right now. It's still going up. So let's keep that trend moving in the right place. I have a feeling, and this is based on zero data other than my feels, I think we're going to pass 40,000 here soon and kind of keep popping back up. I think now we've done the little dribble in the testing. I think we're cruising back up. I think we're doing it right now, but that is not Travital advice.
So there's an article from about a week ago on Bloomberg, and the reason it's important is because the last time Bitcoin took the dump was because Elon Musk, tweeted something about a broken heart where Bitcoin was concerned. And people are ridiculous. Like, they respond so emotionally with their money to a tweet from a guy who's really pretty much irrelevant in the big picture. I think Elon Musk is brilliant, and people are hating on him for these tweets. I think history is going to be very kind to him for his innovations. I think that people laughed at Edison and other inventors at their time, and they were probably eccentric, people as well. Musk is eccentric, and is he a crypto specialist? No. But is he doing some amazing things and a progressive thinker as far as technology goes and the new horizons for mankind? Yeah, he is. So, Max Kaiser getting up on stage at Bitcoin 2021 saying, F Elon! Really? That's almost as cringy as a be connect, was it moment. Almost. Not quite.
I was actually going to talk about that. I just included an article about that, and I think also what they're calling the high priest of Bitcoin, Max Kaiser. He did an interview on stage with MicroStrategy's Michael Saylor, and they're like, we're not selling, F Elon. And they went off on Elon. Also, I think that he did something where he ambushed Jack Dorsey about something as well. So Max Kaiser putting himself out there at the Miami event, Bitcoin 2020. And those of you who went to the event, we didn't see you there. We were looking all over we weren't there. We were somewhere else. And but you know what? It looked like it was a great event. I mean, I've looked at some of the highlights and some of the things that went on. It's like a fun event. A lot of people were there. First real big event since the COVIDs.
Mm-hmm. A lot of these articles that we see in the crypto world over the course of the week are Bitcoin could go to this number down. Bitcoin could go to this